Just out doing another skid run today. I've got a couple more places piling up for our firewood for the winter. In the meantime, I wanted to just do this video response to my chemtrail question to anybody who watched it. Lots of good response there. A lot of comments on it. I figured it would actually open up debate. I don't mind debate. I haven't really got any concrete answers on either side. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some people have given, their best answer, and first of all, I want to thank everybody as usual for doing that, taking time for that. But typical as most debates, what I find too happens is, I think everything's been fairly reasonable. I certainly haven't gone out of my way to erase any comments or block anybody or anything, but I told one particular fellow to be nice because, it was getting to the point where it wasn't facts anymore. It was starting to throw and hurl insults, so I find that doesn't really benefit anybody. I've seen so far is there's more evidence for the fact that chemtrails are true than there is for the fact that they're not. Now that doesn't mean that I've persuaded my decision on it either way, but people are that are against it, what I have observed is that they don't really seem to have any real evidence that they're not real, other than just to basically put everybody else's comments down, maybe in certain ways. And as usual, of course, I go to these people's sites and they don't have any videos, so I can't really see what they have to say. But on the other hand too, though, there's also been people that have had their evidence for it, but it's maybe more hearsay. So in the meantime, I'm still throwing the question out there to anybody, and if anybody wants to give their observations, using logic or whatever, and if they have conspiracies, then that's great, and bring them along, and try to bring some evidence with that, if you can. I can tell you that Ford is made by Martians, but unless I have any evidence, so in the meantime, I don't know. I haven't really seen anything lately on it. Not that I spend all day long looking up to see if there's any chemtrails out there or not. But I have, of course, watched in the past some movies or videos on the subject. One thing I will say, there was one comment, I don't have to say who said or anything, but they said that getting information off YouTube is near useless and it would be best to talk to professionals. Well, I gotta say one thing though, that I don't know if they meant that as a whole or not, but I do disagree. I think you can get a lot of information on YouTube, which is why I posted the question. It's true, you will get a lot of false information, as you will anywhere for that matter, but I do like to get information off of YouTube, and as I say, they may not have meant that as a whole. They may have been talking about a particular subject, but in the meantime, I'm still open to any theories on that. It's just something I've been interested sort of on the sideline, whether it is or not, who's behind it, what's behind it. I know they've been trying to do weather modification since the 50s. Even before that, I read about this once. They were trying to explode bombs in the air. They used to call them rain bombs, I think it was. It might have been California they were doing that, or the desert somewhere. I can't remember where they were doing that. So it's certainly not unrealistic to think that there are people that are trying to do weather modification. That I don't think is unrealistic to say. So having said that, if they are trying weather modification, I guess the next question would be well then if they are, how are they doing it? And obviously they're doing it, if they're doing it through some form of elements like chemicals, for that matter, or explosives or whatever, it has to be put up in the sky somehow. If they're doing it through any kind of other sources like electromagnetic or radioactivity or whatever, this HAARP, I've heard about this, I've done some research on it. There was some conspiracies going around the internet about that earthquake in China last year. Apparently there was seen a rainbow in the sky before that happened, a very unusual looking one. I did see the video myself. If anybody has any factual evidence or information on that too, I'd like to hear about that. But in the meantime, you're all welcome to bring your comments. You're welcome to debate on the channel on any subject. All I ask is be nice. Just use your head. If people do tend to get passive about what they believe, and that's fine. I respect that too. But just try to stay as logical as possible, and you're all welcome to discuss it And in the end, it's the truth, right, that counts. So at this point, I'm what you might call neutral on it. You know, I'm not going to say that there are, and in the same hand, I'm not willing to say that there isn't. Just because of some of the unusual activity I've just seen myself. So anyways, thanks in the meantime.